Hello everybody, hope you're doing great today. In this video I'm going to look at the current state of the housing market. Current housing market is frozen, buyers are not out buying, sellers are deciding to sit back and not sell. Number of reasons for that, so let's take a look at the data and the information and see what's going on with the housing market in the United States. Typically during this time frame, early February to March, the spring home selling season kicks off in many markets around the United States. Basically, a lot of buyers are getting ready to buy a home. A lot of sellers are bringing their homes onto the market. Buyers, when they put in an offer on a home, they usually expect to close within 30 to 60 days. And one of the big reasons for that is so that the buyers can get into that home, especially if they got young children. That way they're ready for the next school year, which starts in fall. So sellers are stuck in a situation where if they want to sell their house, they may have purchased homes at a lower interest rate. They may have refinanced at a lower interest rate. Mortgage rates were historically low the past few years. So if they've locked in those rates, they're now sitting on a 30-year mortgage in the 2 and 3% mortgage rates. So the prospect of selling their home, either to downsize, upsize, move locations, whatever, going from a 2 to 3% mortgage to a high 6% mortgage doesn't make a lot of financial sense. The higher the mortgage rate, the higher the monthly payment that's going to be for those sellers when they purchase a new home. Similarly with buyers, buyers have to get a mortgage in the high 6% range, and with current home prices being at the levels that they are at today, with the higher mortgage interest rates, that means a higher monthly payment, and a lot of buyers are priced out. They can't afford those payments, they can't afford that home, so they're in a wait-and-see approach. There's a hope by both buyers and sellers that mortgage rates do come down. That way buyers can go get into homes, sellers as well can sell their homes and buy another home with that reduced interest rate. On the other side, buyers are willing to buy a home with the higher mortgage rate, but they need the prices to come down. But sellers aren't willing to bring those prices down. They might have purchased at a higher price. They might not have the ability to bring that price down, and as a result, they're stuck. So a lot of those sellers who don't want to sell, can't sell right now, are fine sitting in their home. They're able to do that. The situation might turn around though if layoffs increase and some other circumstances happen to take hold. For example, death of one of the owners, divorce, debt. Any of those can force a homeowner to sell whether they want to or not, and in which case, in order to get sold, they'll have to meet today's buyer at today's pricing based on what the mortgage rates are. So for example, if we take a 30-year mortgage, a buyer is going to purchase a home this year. They're looking at a $400,000 property, going to put 10% down at 6.7% interest rate. Their monthly principal and interest payment is going to be $2,323. Now, a couple of years ago, the same person buying that $400,000 home with 10% down and a 3% interest rate is going to be paying a monthly P&I of $1,616.56. The difference of that is $706. So as you can see, a lot of buyers who are looking to purchase a home today, while they could have afforded that home a couple of years ago, today, with the higher mortgage rates, that monthly payment is an additional $700. That's quite a big chunk out of their monthly budget. So for many, they simply can't afford that, and they have to sit and wait either until prices come down or mortgage rates come down. So from the peak pricing here in June 2022, we can see the prices have started to tick down a little bit in this S&P Case-Shiller National Home Price Index. Now this data is lagging, so the last data they have here is December 2022. So we're still missing a couple months of January and February 2023. So my thoughts are that prices are still going down, especially with the mortgage rates where they are. Buyers simply can't afford the homes that are on the market today, so prices do need to come down. Also, further seen how buyers are stepping back from the market is that mortgage applications fell to a 28-year low, and what that means is buyers are not even applying for the mortgage. Mortgage interest rates where they are and the home prices where they are, it simply doesn't make sense for buyers to apply for the mortgage and go home shopping. Current mortgage rates as of today, we're looking at 30-year fixed, almost touching 7%. Even the 15-year fixed mortgage, around 6.5%. Whether you're using a VA or an FHA mortgage loan, those interest rates are high as well too. Here's some data from Realtor.com. This is looking at existing single-family home sales and the regional sales by price. So we're looking at this top chart over here, percent change in sales from 1 year ago. You can see a lot of drop. Specifically looking at the US as a whole, in the 0 to 100,000 range, drop of 25% in terms of sales. In the 100 to 250,000 range, drop of 35%, as well as the 250 to 500,000 range, drop of 31%. So there's been a 31% drop from this year compared to last year in the 250 to 500,000 range. You can look at those numbers, so the numbers are falling all across the line. Now there's this talk of housing shortage, that we don't have enough housing units out there. I don't think that's necessarily accurate. I think we need to look below in order to see what's really going on. There definitely is a shortage of affordable homes considering current mortgage rates, but there are also 14.5 million vacant homes sitting in the US based on current census data. So of those 14 million homes, those might be investor-owned homes which aren't getting rent. They could be owner-occupied home. They moved to a new home. They thought they would sit on their old home, hope to gain some more money. It's now sitting empty. So taking that fact, 14 million homes sitting vacant, to state that then we do have a housing shortage doesn't seem to make sense. Now you can imagine too, out of those 14.5 million homes, even if a small percentage of those homes, 5 to 10%, come to market, that's going to be a big jump in inventory. As of February 2023, we only have 577,972 homes listed for sale. As you can see from this chart, it's well off the lows, but certainly we have a lot more room to grow. So from the vacancy rate of 14 million homes, even if we get just about 5% of those listed on the market, that's an additional 600,000 to 700,000 homes that's going to hit the market, and that will change this equation quite a bit. Especially being vacant, that's a lot of forced sellers. Even with a low mortgage rate, if you're not getting any rent from renters, rent numbers are going down in a lot of markets, so it doesn't make sense to rent. It makes more sense to sell your property, in which case that's going to put a lot of downward pressure on prices for the homes. So the current housing market is frozen. Sellers aren't willing to sell. They're sitting on low mortgage rates. They have no reason to currently move, so they're going to sit where they are with their current mortgage rates unless forced by recession, layoffs, all the other reasons that I mentioned before. At the same time too, buyers don't want to step out. They don't want to borrow at these high mortgage interest rates. Nobody knows for sure if these mortgage rates are going to come down or how long they're going to stay that high. A difference of a couple $100s a month can mean quite a bit in terms of an everyday budget, especially when we're still facing inflation and a lot of our daily costs, our monthly costs are going up at the same time too. So nobody wants to be stuck in that situation where they bought a brand new house, they're paying a high mortgage rate, and then costs are going up at the same time too. Since inflation hasn't come down, that just leads to a bad situation, forced sellers, and that's going to put further downward pressure on the market. What are your thoughts? How's the market doing in your neighborhood? Is it up or is it down? Are you still seeing multiple offers? Let me know in the comments below. And if you could, please hit the like and subscribe button. That way I know that this content is helpful for you. And thank you. I will see you in the next video.